inside. But around the outside, much deeper. Nearly spins. Contact. Side by side here. The wins on his second outing. The hoop spins.
Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to some more racing at 10 controls. We got the cup today. It's round 5, I'm pretty sure. And we're at Jeddah, so this one's going to be a very interesting one. And what are you expecting today from these guys around this track? I don't know.
Well, you know, it's a tight circuit, a lot of twists and turns. You're gonna have to have a good setup, keep the car planted through the tight sections, but you also want to have a great car on the straights, because that's a big part of this track. You know, the end of sector 3, beginning of the lap. You know, it's definitely gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's one of those circuits that very, very fast corners and not much margin for error. You make a mistake and you tap the wall and that's race over, because front wing damage does not help around this track.
No, it doesn't. You know, if you have any damage at all, really, it just kind of it really hurts your cars. We watch the Amethyst Racing Machine of Alex Fox Johnson, the end of Sector 1 through turn 13. Is that a new livery on the Amethyst Racing car?
Well, I believe he doesn't have the the normal one that they have, so we'll just pretend this is like a special livery. You know what I mean? Like the Golf livery on McLaren.
Yes.
Monaco.
Or the BWT livery on
Alpine.
Alpine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, currently, the championship is led by 10 controls. Obviously, in my unbiased opinion, the team leading the championship is the best team. So, we'll see. At the moment, our closest rival is Prime. So, we'll see how they do. You got Tony Richet out there. He's obviously got 2 race wins so far this season. So he's trying to make that a third. As we watch now, Alex Fox Johnson for Amethyst saying his first lap of the qualifying session. Take it away, Adam.
Through turn number 1, he got a little bit on the curb. Might have cut the corner slightly, but he's kept it nice and tidy through sector 1. Just edging those curbs a tiny bit. He keeps it on the track. Maybe could have taken a little bit more throttle as he exits turn number 12. Down this short straightaway into the hairpin that is turn 13. He'll go purple in sector number 1. Obviously, that doesn't mean much as he's the first car on a lap, but he's oh so close to the wall through 14, 15, and 16. He's got a great lap going, just throwing the car in there. He's really close to the wall, trying to get everything he can out of this ARL machine. He's got DRS wide open down this, well, we'll call it a back straightaway. It's not really a back straightaway. Goes purple through sector 2. He'll open DRS once more. Through turn 26. As he jumps on the binders through turn 27.
Oh.
His teammates retired from the session. We've got a yellow flag in sector number 2. That's one car around. Watch Tony Richet now. Fox Johnson with a 128.2. A good lap from the ARL machine.
Yeah, Alex Fox Johnson putting Amethyst in P1. You see Tony Richet here catching up to... Who was that? There's a massive collision there. It looks like... that was Light Zoltar. He just wasn't paying attention there to the drivers behind. And that is the first lap qualifying ruined for Tony. And Lifeout puts in a 27.7. for APPF1. We watched Alan McTeer go P2.
It's a good lap from Lifeboat as OS Degrees puts in a 129.0. Chebatarov comes in with a 127.5 for No Speed Racing. Looks like the NSR car's up towards the top so far.
Yeah, 1-3 for the boys in green. So they're not going to be too unhappy with that.
But that is one thing you have to be careful of. I mean, we just saw it with Tony Roche. You know, this track is so tight, there's not a ton of passing opportunities. You really kind of have to pick your spots. And obviously, you know, it's a little hard to let cars by. We watch Gloomy through sector number 1, a 32.2, the OGK machine. Beautiful blue car, not as close to the wall as we saw Fox Johnson, but so far Gloomy's got a good lap going. Let's see what his sector 2 time is. He'll open DRS down this sort of back straightaway. At the end of sector 2, it's a 1:09. I don't know that that's going to be enough really to put Gloomy up at the top of this session. He'll open DRS down this towards the end of the lap through turn 27. He's got a couple cars in front. One of them was a No Speed Racing machine that will pull off the track. Gloomy down the main straightaway up to the line, a 128.5, and that's good enough for 5th provisionally.
Here's Andrei Machach for VRL. He's in the final sector now. See what we can do for Virtual Racing League here. Can he put a strong time on the board? Can he get up there with the NSR drivers? Final corner. Opens up. Looks like he's got a very decent exit there. Very smooth on throttle. Opens DRS. He's going to cross the line. And it's going to be a 27.6. Gets on the front row provisionally. An attempt back from Anton in P1.
It's a good lap from Machach. We saw him really open up the wheel at the end of that lap. Really trying to get all the speed he could out of the final corners. We watched JP of OGK running his way through sector number 1. Turn 9, 10, 11, and 12 as he heads up to the sector 1 line of 32.2. Not a terrible first sector from the OGK machine. His teammate currently sitting in 6th provisionally as he works his way through the chicane, kind of in the middle of sector number 2, down this back straightaway of sorts, DRS wide open, really kind of using all of the track so far. He'll go purple through sector number 2, a 1:07. A good sector 2 time. That's about what we saw Machach run, I believe. He heads into the final corner through turn 27. He'll open up the wheel on the exit. He'll get the DRS down the main straightaway, up to the line. JP's good enough for 5th.
Pushing Thomas Vink now through the middle sector. Looks like he's matched JP there. And see if he can get around the 27.7s with 10 controls. Got the final corner to go now.
Thomas Vink was involved in a thrilling finish yesterday. Can he grab pole? No, he's just about 0.02 of a second shy. A 127.530. Good enough for 2nd provisionally. Watch Light Zolta through sector number 1.
Now, that is a driver for VRL. And he's just invalidated there. Don't be confused by the livery. It looks like he hasn't got the right one.
I like the look of that car, though. It vaguely reminds me of Connor Daly's Air Force machine from, I want to say the 2019 Indy 500.
Yeah, it's my recollection. I don't. I'm not sure.
He ran like it was a gray car. A beautiful looking car as we watch Lifeboat through turn number 13. Dallin McTeer a little bit slow, maybe trying to warm up the tires. He will hop on the DRS, use a little bit of ERS down this main straightaway. Dallin McTeer, his teammate, is on pole. Let's see if we can get this NSR car up to the top as we watch Chebatarov through turn number 1 and 2. He's got a good exit out of 2. He works his way through this middle sector. Currently, provisional pole sitter at a 127.513. So this green NSR car looking beautiful under the lights here in Jeddah. The end of Sector 1, he's a 10th of a second up. A good run so far for Chebatarov through turn 13. He'll keep it nice and tight to the walls. Through this second sector, he's got his teammate in front of him. Too far in front to get a draft down this back straightaway, but just far enough in front that he might be able to see him. He goes purple through the second sector as well. Chebatarov down this back straightaway through turn 26 into the final corner. Can Chebatarov extend his pole position? PSR Flame with a 5-place grid penalty. Dallin McTeer up to third. Chebatarov to the line. A 127.3.
Yeah, that's a great lap from Anton. 27.3, keeping that provisional pole position. Octavian Urso goes P2, just behind or 10th back, and puts himself on the front row. Here's Tony Richet. He's managed to not crash with anyone past the first sector, now into the second sector. As Martinez Pines is out. So another driver out into the barriers. That looks like at the first chicane. Tony Richet, 59.8 in the middle sector. There's a rapid middle sector right there. That's about 2 tenths on the rest of the field from what I remember. What can Tony Richet do here in the final corner of his second lap here in the qualifying session? 5 minutes left, and he puts himself on the top step.
Tony Richet down the main straightaway. He'll open DRS up to the line, and he's done it. Tony Richet, a 127 something. I can't quite see what that is. A 127.0. That's good enough for. He's 3/10 up on Chebatarov. That's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely rapid lap that. I said 3/10. I was like on the money. Thanks for the follow, Hugh. Well, here's the deal, right? Prime of Tony, and he's doing so good. He's like leading. He's been winning, but because of this being a Constructors' Championship, he needs that teammate. Where is the teammate for Tony? It's gonna be tough to win the championship by himself, but I'm sure they'll bring someone along to help him soon.
You know, the cup is a team event. You know, so without a teammate, you can't really. You kind of struggle to win in the championship.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm not sure what happened between Flame and Banter Brandon, I think that was. There's some 5-place grid penalties dished out there. Light Zolta puts in 22 and goes 10th fastest. I mean, as a team, NSR looking good. Control's doing good. They're filling out the spots from 2nd to 5th.
OS Degrees through sector number 2. That beautiful black and red car streaks its way down the back straightaway. He'll open up DRS. The Syndicate Racing Machine doesn't have a teammate today. Usually it's Rain F1, but we haven't seen Rain yet. OS Degrees will open up DRS through turn 26. Through 27. He's got a good run so far. He's currently 13th with a 29.0. Let's see if he can improve. Up to the line. He's 10th. 128.2.
Yeah, puts himself up into 10th. He's getting to grips now with no traction control. And we're watching live right now. Currently 7th in the field as we watch. He's got that's Alex Fox and Johnson there leaving the pits, but he got out of the way nice and smoothly. Through this fast sequence section, he's hit the wall there on the inside, and that is an invalidation and probably a broken front wing too.
Well, it looks like from the angles we're seeing, his front wing looks okay. He's not missing an end plate. He might be able to go for another lap if he can keep these soft tires underneath him.
Yeah, I mean, he has a minute left. That's probably his only option to try and go for an improvement.
Gloomy around the final corner. He'll get ready to start his flying lap, currently sitting in 12th. He'll use up all of the track available down the main straightaway. Not really a line that we've seen. He might have kissed the wall on the entry to turn number 1. He's got a great exit, though. Sometimes unconventional lines work. Elio Castroneves will certainly tell you that. He got a little bit loose out of turn number 4. But so far, the OGK car is on a good lap as we watch Dallin McTeer through sector number 1. Through turn 3. This NSR machine works its way to the end of Sector 1. He's got a great lap going so far. Let's see what the time is. He's picked up 7/1000ths of a second. Not quite. Oh, and he's in the wall. He's in the wall at the exit of turn 13. He just had a snap of oversteer.
Oh, Tony's out. Tony's out. He's lost it in the first chicane. Turn 1 and 2. That's the Prime Motorsport car out of the session. What can Anton do? Can he get a 3/10 improvement? It'll be quite a margin to overcome. He's gone up 0.5 in the first sector. He needs 2.5 more to try and get a pole position here.
Chebatarov is going to need a ton of time through sector number 2. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead. That might help him down this straightaway, assuming he doesn't catch them into the next chicane. Yellow flags up ahead. Not quite sure who that's for as we watch Octavian Arsu through turn 27. Can the 10 controls machine claim pull a little bit of debris on the exit of turn 27? It didn't really affect him up to the line. It's a 27.2. He approved by 2/10, but it wasn't quite enough. Chebatarov now through turn 27. Can the NSR machine put himself on pole? Up to the line, not good enough.
It looks like Tony Richet is going to take pole position here. Andre Mahach for VRL managed to get on the front row right at the line. Octavian Urso P3. Thomas Vink P5 there, just before Anton improved. And then Anton is just about 100th in front of him. In P4, Dallin's in P6. Lifebout P7. JP P8, Alex Foss Johnson P9. OS Degrees rounds out the top 10 with Syndicate Racing League.
It was a fast qualifying. I mean, the top 5 are within 0.3 of a second, so we could see a really good race here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch how this turns out. A little bit of I call it fighting, but we had some accidents there in qualifying. So we'll see if that foreshadows anything for the race.
We get ready to go here in Saudi Arabia, or in Jeddah. Saudi Arabia, as we look down the pit lane, cars gridding up, picking out their strategies. We saw it was close at the top in qualifying. The top 5 within 0.3 of a second. Will we see the same type of fight in the race? It will all be determined in a few moments by turn number 1. Seen a couple accidents in turn number 1 over the years here in Jeddah. Looks like it's a fairly cloudless night. Should run to the end on these slick tires. Will we have a safety car? I believe we had a safety car or 2 last time out. So we get ready to head to the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, round number 5 of this 10 Controls Cup. Tony Richet on pole. 5 red lights are out, and we are underway here in Jeddah. Tony Richet got a good start. Mahach got a okay start up the inside. We've got 2 cars in the wall at the back. That's Banter Braden and PSR Flame. And we are under a safety car.
Well, we didn't even make it past turn 1. It looks like Martinez Pines, something's happened to him, and he's down at the back, and that's a full safety car. Not even one DNF'd. And looks like Bernd Mailander just wants to head out already. He's had enough of waiting in the pits.
See the strat.
Well, that's a VSC. It's a VSC.
Oh, it's a VSC.
Okay, so, oh my god, there's Octavian. He's going down the side. He looks like he's timed that restart to perfection already. Trying to go for moves on Andre there. They're going side by side through this section. Can Melon stick it round the outside here? That's going to turn in the inside for this next chicane. Is there enough room? He's had to go off track. And Andre's kept the position.
Andre Mahach just forced him off track just a tiny bit as Octavian works his way through the middle sector, sitting in 3rd, right in the tire tracks of the VRL machine. As we look farther back, OS Degrees involved in a battle. He's right on the rear wing of Lewis Piper. He might have gotten into him at the exit of the chicane. JP now trying to get Alex Fox Johnson. JP will look to the inside in turn 27. Side by side they go. The OGK car on the inside didn't get a great exit. And now Fox Johnson will scoot away just a tiny bit. And he'll go to the inside of Dallin McTeer in turn number 1. Side by side, the ARL car stuffs it up the inside. Now the outside for turn 2. McTeer got a ton of wheel spin at the exit of 2, and Fox Johnson is up to 7th. Dallin McTeer.
Sorry, yeah, his teammate there, I was about to say, up into 4th. Obviously, he's kept in position. Most of the top guys not switching around as much. They're staying where they are. JP there is really, really close to Dallin. And looks like Alex Fox Johnson's gone a little bit deep there. It's going to hurt his exit. Oh, it's Dallin! He's lost it!
That's the second time we've seen him lose it at the exit of turn 13. And that one's going to cost him. He's down to 14th. And he might drop a couple more positions as JP has no front wing. So the OGK machine will try to make it around. But up front, the top 6 have scooted away a little bit from everybody else. Well, after Lifebout, who's 6th, it's another second back to Fox Johnson, and then another 2.5 seconds back to Lewis Piper and Gloomy battling for 8th back there. That's Gloomy up the inside. He ran deep through turn 27. Piper's going to fight back on the inside. Light Zolta watching all of this from behind as Gloomy will go to the inside down the main straightaway. Light Zolta might have he tried to get both of them. He'll try the fast in or slow in fast out on Lewis Piper, and he will stay in 9th. Up front, though, it's a 6-car breakaway as Thomas Vink goes around. That's the end of sector number 1. I believe that's turn 9. Thomas Vink, 360s. He keeps the car going, but not really what you want to see from the 10 controls guy.
Yeah, I don't know if there was contact there or if that was just a spin from Thomas. He had Lifeboat behind him. There's yellow flags. That's 08 degrees. He's spun and he's lost his front wing, and that is another virtual safety car that's come out.
So far, lap 3, 2 VSCs. Octavian Ursu currently sitting 3rd. Chebatarov is second back in 4th. Lifeboat 5th. Alex Fox Johnson in 6th. It's turned more into a 4-car breakaway, although I suspect that Chebatarov is hanging back a little bit, trying to time this restart. Kind of a 6-car breakaway up front. Fox Johnson has joined the battle as Chebatarov into the pits. Maybe he has some front wing damage. Strange strategy from the NSR car. He's on the hard tires. He does have front wing damage.
I wonder where he got that. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I would guess something to do with Thomas Vink, but that's just a guess as we watch back up front. Gloomy following right in the tire tracks of Light Zolta through turn number 9. The OGK machine trying to stalk Light Zolta in 8th. Zolta running that special livery. Andre Mahach currently sits in 2nd. He's about 6 car lengths behind our leader. Octavian Ursu another 5 or 6 car lengths behind Mahach as they head through turns 23 and 24. Nice little chicane at the end of sector number 2. The top 2 starting to pull away a tiny bit. Octavian Ursu in 3rd has kept up with him so far. Lifeboat 4th, Fox Johnson 5th, Lewis Piper in 6th. Piper is way in the back of this train. He's almost 2 seconds behind them. Hot sitting in 2nd. All right, Ariane, so it's lap number 5. Where do you want to be in this train?
Well, you either want to be 1st or 2nd, because if you're 3rd, there's just not a whole lot you can do until the final lap, because you'll just be watching these two switch or fight around. Well, as I say that though, Tony Richet, he's nearly pulled out the 1 second that he needs to stop Andre from having DRS. He's putting a little bit of pressure. He's forcing him to use a little bit of DRS. 9/10 is the gap. So Andre will still keep DRS for now. But you see that gap is getting larger and larger. He has DRS, so that's going to help him coming down this straight. But Tony is just on fire right now. He's just showing the levels there is to this game.
I believe Tony might just be trying to force Andre to use a little bit of that ERS and the DRS, as you said. Currently, 0.7 of a second is the gap from Richet to Mahach. Octavian Ursu sits behind them in 3rd. They head down the main straightaway. Tony Roche, the fastest lap of the race. That's about what you would expect from the leaders. We watch Alex Fox Johnson currently sitting in 5th. He's about a second behind this train as they begin to string out here on lap number 6. ARL Machine. Currently, he's running pretty well. ARL 5th and 6th with Fox Johnson and Lewis Piper. As Octavian Ursu currently in 3rd. He got a little bit fishtaily, I suppose, out of turn number 12. I don't know if that's the correct conjugation of that word. But Octavian Ursu trying to chase down the top 2.
Yeah, he was out of DRS there for a moment. I believe he has managed to get himself back in it, but he's had to use a little bit of ERS. So a bit of a trade-off there, but he's managed. He managed. Andre also keeping in the DRS of Tony, which is great to see. He's putting in good laps. Tony's not running away with it right now. You see, he's used some ERS himself.
They head down this back straightaway through turn 26. We've got a yellow flag. The exit of turn 13. It's JP, that blue OGK machine. Just got into the wall. He might have gotten turned around. And he's fallen all the way back to 16th.
Oh, Lewis Piper's just got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is not going to help him out indeed. Lap 6 here. A little bit early, but I think that's a front wing change. Yeah, it's a front wing change for the Amethyst driver. As Dallin gets his own time penalty. Has he got damage too? I assume so. Oh, he's out.
No.
Dallin obviously a little bit heated after the race yesterday. If you guys are confused, well, I guess you'll see the highlights soon. Or you can check out our Instagram. We posted it there. It was a it is a massive. I'm trying to think of a word that won't make it an understatement.
A pileup.
Yeah, it was a pileup.
A kerfuffle.
Yeah, exactly.
We run lap number 7. Tony Roche the leader. Andre Mahatch in 2nd. Octavian Ursu 3rd. Lifebout 4th. Alex Fox Johnson 5th. Thomas Vinkins 6th. Nate Zolta 7th. Gloomy 8th. Martinez Pines in 9th. And Anton Chebatarov rounds out the points. Tony Roche has
gapped Andre. He's 1.5 seconds back. And he will not be getting DRS any longer. So Tony Roche now has the option. He can leave and go off into the distance. Leave these guys behind.
Get a yellow flag in sector number 2. That is OS Degrees, I believe. That's turn 15. Not a great day for the Syndicate Racing League. Watch Thomas Vink through the middle of sector number 1. He was up at the front too. He gets a 3-second time penalty. He was up at the front as well until he 360'd the car. Didn't hit anything. Didn't have any damage. The only thing he really damaged there was his pride.
Yeah, he's about 3.5 seconds back from Alex Fox Johnson in 5th. He's about 7 seconds from the train at the front. And got yellow flags there. And that looks like Anton has lost it in the middle sector.
We've seen a couple.
Not great for NSR. They were up at the front. And then they've just dropped all the way back.
Yeah, we've seen a couple guys spin right at that corner. So we watch Octavian Ursu down the main straightaway. He doesn't need a tow. He's got DRS and ERS. And Octavian Ursu is up to 2nd. Now he sets his sights on Tony Roche ahead. The 10 controls machine gets around the lap car. The lap car decided to pull off to the side very wisely. Actually, that's OS Degrees retiring. Octavian Ursu, he's pulled a little bit of a gap through Sector 1. He's got about a 7 car length gap. He's starting to pull away from Andre Mahach. Maybe the 10 Controls car can try and chase down the leader. Do watch Lifebout running behind Andre Mahach now.
Yeah, Andre and Octavian have to work together here. This fighting will just not help them. You can see that the gap went from 1.7 to 1.5 now. It was smart by Andre not to fight. You see, if these guys can just use the DRS, slingshot themselves, and take turns, they'll slowly catch up to Tony. Or at least they'll give themselves a chance at doing so.
The gap is 1.4 seconds as we watch the APP F1 machine of Lifebout get pulled along the straightaway, essentially, by Andre Mahach. Octavian's really not that far behind. He's close enough that he gets a little benefit of slipstream down the main straightaway and the back straightaways. He got loose at the exit of turn number 2. Almost binned it into the wall. He was able to keep it off the walls, but a scary moment there from the 10 Controls machine.
Yeah, so close. It was a Max Verstappen-esque drive there, getting really, really close to the wall. And he's lucky that his race didn't end there. The gap's remained stable, 1.4 seconds.
Octavian Ursu, we know he's got the pace to close this gap. As JP and Flame go side by side through turn number 1 and 2, JP he had the preferred line through turn number 2. He got the better exit, and the OGK machine up into 12th. Back up front, Tony Roget might have made a mistake somewhere. Octavian Ursu has closed the gap down to 1.2 seconds through turn 26.
Yeah, Octavian's got so much pace right now. You can see he's managed to keep up with Tony and gain a little bit, lap by lap. You see that gap's gone from 1.4 to 1.3, and he's pulling along this train as he does it. So at some point when he runs out of ERS, Andre will be all full, and he'll be able to swap with him again. And this time, I think they might catch up to the DRS.
It seems like Tony Roche just has a little bit more pace through Sector 1. Mellon catches him again through Sectors 2 and 3. That beautiful pink and black 10 Controls machine is starting to reel in Tony Roche up front. They head through turn 13. Unique corner, one of the few banked corners on the Formula One schedule at Zandvoort. Octavian Ursu 1.2 seconds behind Tony Roche through Sector 2. He's pulled a little bit of a gap to Andre Mahach behind. Lifebout starting to fall back from Mahach. Gap is 1.2 seconds, now down to 1.1. It looks like the 10 Controls machine is closing. Gap under 9/10 of a second. He might have DRS down this main straightaway depending on his exit out of the final corner. He had a great exit, and he's now in DRS range.
Yeah, he's just about made it in, but Tony he had a little bit of ERS saved because he was out in front, and he's just used it just enough to keep Octavian out of that range when he's coming out of this first sector. I don't think he's going to be able to get in that DRS. You see, he's already pulled that gap to 1.2 now.
Gap back up to 1.2. We talked about Roche's much better through Sector 1 than Octavian. As we look at the life of the tires, some of the medium runners are already in, so I would expect these hard tire guys like Tony Roche and Octavian to come in as Octavian's made a mistake somewhere. He's fallen back nearly 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. He's had a huge moment. And that 1.2 second gap has changed to about 2.3. And that's Lewis Piper losing it at the exit of Sector 1.
Maybe Tony Roche is on the ERS button, thinking he's going to come into the pits this lap.
He's absolutely empty.
Through turn 27, he has emptied the button, and he's into the pit. Well, he's not into the pit.
Not into the pit.
That's a strange play by Tony Roche.
Yeah, he's used it all there just to create a gap, it seems. To not even give Octavian a chance. Obviously, he made a mistake. And then he's just reacted to that mistake by turning on the ERS and gaining as much as an advantage as possible. And Lewis Piper's out. And that's a full safety car. So now, pretty much everyone's going to get a free stop there. Lewis Piper, DNF in Sector 3. That looks like turns... what turn numbers are they?
Give me just a second.
There he is.
It's turn 22 and 23.
Yeah, that's
the exit of turn 23.
Yeah, the curb there is super harsh. So if you go too much over it, you can really unsettle the car and bottom out. And it looks like that's just what happened there to Lewis Piper. You're lucky that Tony didn't pit there. Because if he did pit, that would have been super unlucky. I mean, now they will have a free stop, obviously.
It would have been absolutely disastrous for the Prime Motorsports machine. But looking right now, Octavian is right on the rear wing of Tony Roche. So it's going to come down to a battle of tenths in this pit lane. Tony Roche trying to get into the pit lane as fast as possible. He's pulled almost a second on Octavian.
He has a delta.
Through turn 27. Oh, he does have a delta.
And obviously there's a risk of double stacking here, so we'll see if any of these drivers get in each other's way. Tony Roche's in the first box. Oh, did you see that Andre and Lifeout were held up there when Tony exited his box? That is super unlucky for them. But they've maintained position, so not to worry.
The top four really weren't in danger of losing any spots. Everybody onto the medium tires. They will all be able to go to the end. Thomas Vink repaired his front wing, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
He lost maybe a position. I think he lost a position to Gloomy in the pit stop exchange.
Yeah. A front wing, just that's an extra about 5 seconds on your pit stop delta. So yeah, lost a position there. I think to Alex Fox Johnson 2, or was he in 6th? No, he was in 6th. Yeah, he's just lost one position.
We run lap 14 of 25. 11 laps to go here in Jeddah. Tony Roche, the leader, under safety car.
We'll see now that these guys both are on the same playing field with ERS. We could mix things up. Obviously, Octavian had pace, did make a mistake there, but without mistakes, maybe can give Tony Roche a run for his money.
That 10 controls machine is awfully quick. We know that. We've seen that so far this year. He's just been a little bit unlucky. He got into the wall at Australia. He had some type of incident in Silverstone. I don't remember what happened in Silverstone, but
Him and Dallin had a collision in Silverstone, remember, in the Inters.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So let's see if he can, if luck is on his side today, and he can keep up with the Prime Motorsports machine.
Yeah, and he's basically been given a second chance here because that 2 seconds, whatever it was, before the pit stops, before the safety car. That was not a recoverable time. So, yeah, now he has a chance. He's right behind him now, and the rest of the field too gets a bunch up, and they can have another run at the point scoring positions.
Absolutely. Have you considered NASCAR-style restarts for the Cup race?
NASCAR-style restarts.
Yes.
So
So instead of single file they're side by side.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool, but there's just no way of doing that because of I mean you'd have to like properly brief the drivers and go really in depth on how you want them to do it. Obviously, in games where they do that kind of start or restart where they're in a double file, they're kind of coded to tell the drivers where to be and who to be behind. So it's quite difficult, but
These drivers are smart enough. We could get it done.
well, you say that, but if one person steps out of line and then someone accidentally gets out of position, it could ruin the whole order, and to get them back in order would be quite difficult because they're not going to be communicating with each other. They're just going to have to do their best by seeing what's around them. Correct.
Nah, it'd be more interesting into turn 1.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
As the safety car is in this lap, get ready to go with 10 laps to go in Jeddah. Tony Richet the leader, Octavian Arsu in second, Andre Mahatch third, Lifebout fourth, Alex Fox Johnson in fifth. Fox Johnson does have a 3-second time penalty. As we watch Octavian warm up the tires, everybody on a fresh set of mediums. Tony Richet taking the wide line through turn 27. He got on the power nice and early. Octavian was unable to keep up. He's pulled 3 car lengths down the main straightaway. The top 4, though, pulled away a ton from Gloomy. Gloomy falls a second behind, as that was Alex Fox Johnson tried to go around Lifebout, and Lifebout wasn't having any of it. The couple cars battle side by side. PSR Flame and Anton Chebatarov battle side by side through turn number 2. Tony Richet still the leader, though, by 0.4 of a second. Thomas Vink now, he's closed in on Gloomy. It's 0.2 of a second. He'll look to the inside in turn 13. He'll now look to the outside. He ran too wide, deep on the brakes, and he was unable to get the move done.
Yeah, I see Octavian there. Picked up a 3-second timer. He went off track there. But Alex Fox Johnson, I think it was, would have picked up a warning for that one. And Tony Richet, that win has just got a little bit more into his view, because that 3-second time penalty from Octavian is kind of a deal breaker. Obviously, we don't know. It could be a removable one. But bear that in mind. Oh, who's just lost it? That's Banter Brandon.
Banter Brandon lost it in turn 22, as Gloomy will go to the inside of Thomas Vink through turn 27. He'll force Vink a tiny bit wide. Vink really had to open up the steering wheel. He'll keep the position temporarily, as Pines and Zolta will battle down the main straightaway. A little bit of contact between those two. Pines will try to force him off, or Zolta will try to force him off, and Zolta will take the position. As Thomas Vink holds on from Gloomy up ahead.
JP's out. Ochi Kurt won't get any points from Gloomy's teammate today. And he's out of penalty, so he's going to be automatically up 2 positions as it stands, if he can keep this gap as it is till the end of the race. And obviously he's got Light Zolta breathing on his tail, but
Gloomy currently sitting in 7th, the only OGK car still in this race, as You just said, Ariane. He's fallen quite a bit behind Thomas Vink, almost 1.1 seconds. It looks like he might be out of penalty range for Alex Fox Johnson if Fox Johnson can just pull away a tiny bit. Thomas Vink, though, starting to catch Fox Johnson. Yep, down to 1.6 seconds. Up ahead, Mellon right in the tire tracks of Tony Richet as we watch Light Zolta. He looked to the outside of Gloomy in turn 27. He was unable to get the move done. He'll now look down. He'll look around the outside down the main straightaway with the help of ERS, and Light Zolta is up into 7th.
Yeah, great move there. Just timing it well, not making it too difficult for himself. Using the ERS, the extra boost in straight line speed.
Light Zolta up to 7th. Andre Mahach currently sitting in 3rd. He's 0.8 of a second behind Octavian Ursu. Ursu currently 2nd. He's half a second behind Tony Richet. He does have a 3-second time penalty, though, so it is in Octavian's best interest to get around Tony Richet and then get a move on. He's really got to put a little bit of giddy up in his horse as they head down this back straightaway. Ursu with DRS. He closed in by maybe half a car length down that back straightaway, but it wasn't anywhere near enough. Tony Richet not with a ton of ERS left. Octavian's closed in a ton down this back straightaway. He'll look to the inside in turn 27, and there's contact. They went wheel to wheel in turn 27. Tony Richet might be at fault for that one. Mellon goes around, and he'll drop all the way down to 7th.
I think both of them were playing DRS games there. I think they slowed down. You see, they weren't taking that at normal speed. They wanted to stay behind the other driver, and I think they just tripped over each other there. They'll definitely go to the stewards on that. As Gloomy's has gone off. He's had a moment, and Martinez Pines just jumped him. Oh, he's hit the wall as well.
Gloomy's really holding up this train of Chebatarov and PSR Flame. As PSR Flame way off track. He went about 3 car widths off track at the exit of turn 7, as Chebatarov will go around the outside of turn 13. They almost made contact. They'll go side by side on the exit of 13. Chebatarov still can't get the advantage, trying to force Gloomy off track, and finally he puts himself ahead of the OGK car.
And now Flame might try and have a go at himself. He's got DRS and ERS, but he's just been covered off there. Gloomy trying to go for a move. These guys are trying to find some room to take this next corner now. Can Flame find a way around? He's got DRS. He's going to have Slipstream. Anton's out of DRS. You see how much they're closing in because of that. Gloomy has the outside line. Anton goes a little bit deep.
As you said, Gloomy tried to go around the outside, and Chebatarov shut the door as PSR Flame now right in the tire tracks of Gloomy. Gloomy and Chebatarov go side by side, and there's contact. That was Chebatarov that got into the back of Gloomy. Gloomy lost it under brakings, and he was off into the runoff.
It looks like there was just contact there from behind from Anton. And sends Gloomy way into the runoff area. I don't think I've ever seen a car go that far into the runoff.
Especially not here. Normally people don't really use the runoff here in Saudi Arabia. We have gotten a message that Dallin McTeer had orange side pod damage, which is the reason for his retirement.
Yeah, obviously that's going to make your car super slidey and unstable, and on this track that's not going to help at all, especially.
Thomas Vink currently in 5th, right behind Alex Fox Johnson as they head down the back straightaway through turn 25 and 26. It's 10 controls 5, 10 controls 6. as Thomas Vink right in the tire tracks of Fox Johnson. He got a ton of wheel spin out of the final corner, but he'll have DRS down the main straightaway. Thomas Vink will go to the inside, now the outside. Down the main straightaway, Fox Johnson deep under braking in turn number 1. Thomas Vink with the switchback, trying to go to the outside. Fox Johnson will have the preferred line for the next corner, and Thomas Vink will back out. Although Fox Johnson didn't get a great exit, that's going to allow Thomas Vink to try and counterattack. It's not quite the counterattack we thought it would be. He's right in the slipstream of Fox Johnson through turn 12. Closing in just a tiny bit on the Amethyst Racing machine. And he's not close enough to make a move.
But Thomas Vink really closing in. He gained a lot over the last few laps. And now he's chasing him down. Obviously, he has 3 seconds less of penalties, but you're going to want to get ahead on track in case some of them get removed.
Behind these two, Octavian Ursu is starting to close in as Thomas Vink looked to the outside, couldn't get the move done. Octavian Ursu has now joined the battle as Fox ran way wide through the exit of turn 23. And now Light Zolta has closed into this battle. It's a 4-car battle for 4th. Fox Johnson will lead them down the main straightaway. Lifeboat has really closed in on Mahatch ahead as Thomas Vink will look to the outside down the main straightaway. A ton of contact between these two. It looks like Fox Johnson just slammed the door at the exit of turn number 1, and the ARL machine will keep 4th. Mellon now right on the back of Thomas Vink through turns 7 and 8. Octavian will back off just a tiny bit, allow his teammate some room. As Thomas Vink trying to close in on Fox Johnson for 4th. It's a 4-car breakaway. Fox Johnson at the head, Light Zolta at the tail. Everybody has time penalties.
Yeah, obviously, Alex Johnson that's 3 seconds more than the rest of these, so everyone behind in this train will get through. And it looks like Octavian is going to get past Thomas, who's letting him by. And Octavian has about 20% of ERS. You know, like Alex Fox Johnson was flashing earlier, but he's going to be at least equal with him, and he's gaining with the DRS. He's turned it off. He's staying behind, going into the final straight. He's going to get DRS here on the back straight. ERS is on. DRS wide open. Can Octavian Ursu get Alex Fox Johnson down into turn 1? He defends the inside. They're both flashing. They're both on down on ERS, and he switches over to the inside. The dummy move down the inside. Octavian Ursu goes into turn 1. That was a beautiful move.
He almost locked up into turn number 1, but Mellon will take 4th as Fox Johnson looking for any way around the 10 controls machine. He's now fallen into the clutches of Thomas Vink once more. Tony Roche, a 3-second time penalty. That could make this interesting if Mahatch can keep it where the gap is. It's currently 2.8 seconds. Thomas Vink closing in on Fox Johnson. He'll look to the inside through turn 13. They both had a bobble in turn 13. Fox Johnson will keep 5th for now, but Thomas Vink hot on the tail of the ARL machine. Down the back straightaway they go. Thomas Vink has DRS. He's not close enough. Lifeboat now starting to reel in Mahatch. Gap there is half a second as Light Zolta has really fallen behind this battle. Thomas Vink with DRS down the back straightaway through turn 26 and 25 and 26. He'll have DRS down the front straightaway. He got a okay exit out of the final corner. He's got DRS using a little bit of ERS as Alex Fox Johnson flashes away down the main straightaway. They almost touched into turn number 1. Fox Johnson will try to slam the door in turn 1, and he got turned by Vink. I don't know that that was Vink's fault. It looked like Fox Johnson just didn't know he was there as he tried to slam the door. And Alex Fox Johnson will be the loser of that one, and he'll fall all the way down to 8th.
And now Anton has caught up right to this battle, and he's right behind Light Zolta. He's got a little bit of ERS. Can he get in front of him down into turn something? I don't know what turn that
13.
is. 13, there we go. And there he goes down the inside as Light Zolta goes a little bit wide.
Back up front, they're on the penultimate lap. Lifebout, he's got a 0.3 of a second gap to Andre Mahach. If he's going to make a move, he's got to make it now. Gap to the leader is 3.7 seconds, but Richey's got a 3-second time penalty. Lifebout closing in on Mahach. He'll look to the inside through turn 26. He'll get the move done, and now Lifebout's got to pick up 0.6 of a second on the leader on this last lap. He got a bad exit out of 27. He'll use a little bit of ERS. He's got 50% as Chabatarov will get around Light Zolta for 6th.
You can see now going into the final lap. Obviously, Light Zolta has a 3-second time penalty, but he's going to get... Oh, Lightbot got another 3-second time penalty. That is just not going to help him out, is it?
No, it's not. He's closing in on Tony Richey, but he's not close enough. The gap is 3.3 seconds. It would take another 2 time penalties from Tony Richey for Lifebout to win this race. It looks like he was the car to close in on Richey. He just, the penalties really killed him.
I mean, Andre doesn't have a penalty, and he needs to gain a second here to Tony. I don't think it's going to happen, even with the ERS and DRS that he has.
He's not, I don't know that he's going to do it, as Tony Richey, through turns 22 and 23, he's done everything right. He's led pretty much this entire race. As he heads through turn 26, the Prime Motorsports machine, he's won twice already this year. And as he heads around the final corner, he will make it 3 times. Tony Richey, up to the line, is victorious in Jeddah.
And Andre comes home P2, only 2/10 behind after penalties. Lifebout gets on the podium, P3, P4, and P5 for the 10 controls. I say that Anton, because of Thomas Vink's penalty, gets in front. He goes P5. Thomas Vink is a 10th back. Light Zolta P7. Martinez Pines P8. Alex Fox Johnson P9. Flame rounds out the top 10. That was a crazy race.
Yes, it was.
There goes Tony Richey. Round in first again. That's 3 times he's been on the top step of the podium for Prime. And that could be enough to bump them up to first in the championship.
Well, considering he doesn't have a teammate, considering we really haven't seen his teammate, it would take a lot of points from Tony Richey to put Prime Motorsports up at the top, but it's not inconceivable. Light Zolta, the driver of the day. We watch the podium celebration.
Anton Brandon there picked up the fastest lap at the end on those soft tyres. See the full final standings. for this race. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Next week, they're going to be driving around. You see where they're going to go for round 6 of the Cup. It's going to be Hungaroring at Hungary. That one's going to be an interesting race for sure.
We enjoy a good race at the Hungaroring.
In about an hour's time, we've got Tier B going around for their, I think it is the Miami Grand Prix. So be sure to watch that if you're interested. Thank you everybody who was watching today. It was some great fun, and it's always a nice time when we bring these leagues together to race against each other. It's gonna be goodbye from me, and goodbye from Adam.
See ya.